special report on Vimy Ridge when we return.
During the advance, Sifton had performed an act of conspicuous gallantry, hurling himself at a machine gun that was mowing down his men, charging directly at its crew, clubbing some with his rifle and slashing at others with his bayonet.
Tomorrow is the 75th anniversary of the Battle of Vimy Ridge. In communities large and small, plaques commemorate the war dead, but in Wallacetown there is nothing to recall the story and the valor of Ellis Sifton. In his hometown, there's no plaque or street sign to remember a native son who won the highest medal for bravery, the Victoria Cross, awarded posthumously. Up the road in Dutton, the biggest community nearby, the sacrifice of George Hefford and Leslie Clark are etched in brass. But there is no sign of the name of Ellis Sifton. Still, a few know him here, and around Remembrance Day, the students are dispatched to the village librarian for a record on their local hero.
During the advance, Sifton had performed an act of conspicuous gallantry, himself at a machine that was mowing down, charged directly at its crew, clubbing some with his rifle and slashing at others with his bayonet.
I suppose kids find that fairly exciting.
Oh, they do. They really do, and it is exciting.
Exciting perhaps, but tragic too. A wounded German soldier shot him dead. At the St. Peter's Church in Tyrconnell, an historic plaque retells the story. And even the words seem to resonate from another time. But the fact is, it wasn't until 1961 that this honor was accorded him. Still, according to the pastor, visitors do come.
I think a place should take care of its history.
But not necessarily to learn about Sifton. Mostly they come because Elgin's founding father is buried here. Sifton is buried in France. Reverend Wheeler says time has erased the living memories of Ellis Sifton, but his name, a legacy of sorts, remains.
The person riding in the funeral car was an Ellis Pierce, and he told me he was named Ellis Sifton. And he, I would like to guess, 55.
It's at the Elgin Military Museum that a fuller understanding of the man emerges. Among the artifacts, a picture, and his last letter home written just 4 days before he died.
Dear sisters, just a few lines to let you know that all is well with Ellis tonight.
There's news about the weather, a friend named Sidney, cousin Len, and then this.
Good night. Love to you all again from your loving brother, Ellis W. Sifton. And he adds a P.S., they have promoted me to sergeant.
The responsibility command. No hint of a hero.
Far from it. He's just like you and me.
But on display, his photograph and the box they used to send his personal effects home, and a copy of the Victoria Cross. The real one is owned by the museum next door. It's worth perhaps $70,000 today, a priceless part of Elgin County history. And that's why this day they could only show us a copy.
It's not kept on site strictly for security reasons.
Vimy Ridge seemed invincible. Then it was Canada's turn.
The turn for thousands of young Canadians. Canadians like Ellis Sifton.
Yeah, every man that fought in that battle was a hero himself.
But not everyone got the Victoria Cross.
No, but not everyone got it. Still, everyone was a hero because they still fought.
75 years after Vimy, the judgment of history. And of course, tomorrow in France, ceremonies commemorate the Battle of Vimy Ridge.
We'll have reports on that. Still ahead, a house fire in London this afternoon, and the latest on Yasser Arafat.